Once upon a time, in the great kingdom of Paradonia, there lived a king called King Marcus, whose love for apples was known to everyone in the kingdom. All day he would eat only apples, and would not share them with even his beloved daughter, Princess Alma.
You know I love you, Alma. But my love for apples surpasses all.
That's not fair, Father. All I ask for is one bite.
My dear, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. And you know why? I have had the...
Yes, I know. You have had the great old sage cast a spell on all the trees of your garden, and whoever eats an apple from it will be dragged inside to the underground world. Yes, I have heard it 1,000,000 times.
Oh, good.
But Father...
Let me eat my apples in peace.
No matter what happens, today I will taste an apple. In the afternoon, when the king went to take his nap, Princess Alma brought out her golden clapping toy and took it near the garden where the guards stood. Hiding herself, she put down the toy. At once, it started clapping and was moving near the guards. But to the princess's surprise, none of the guards moved. The toy stopped near a person, and as Princess Alma looked up, she saw a man dressed like a prince wearing a crown. She immediately understood that it was Prince Mighty who had come to ask her hand for marriage. Princess Alma at once ran back to the palace. Later that day, when King Marcus and Prince Mighty were talking in the courtroom, the maids presented Princess Alma.
Oh, look, there's my daughter Alma. Meet Prince Mighty of the Reston Kingdom.
How are you, Princess Alma?
I am very well. Thank you for asking.
Well, looks like you two will get along well. Daughter, why don't you take Prince Mighty and show our kingdom?
Sure, Father. As the princess and the prince came out of the castle and walked towards the garden, she asked, "So, why do they call you Prince Mighty?"
Oh, that is because I am the mightiest prince in the whole world. I have imprisoned dragons, made lions bow down in front of me, and have defeated an army of bears. I am the greatest man to have ever walked the earth.
My goodness, this guy is a show-off. Oh, is that so? Then I must be the luckiest princess to be in your presence. And since you are so brave and have come to ask for my hand in marriage, I'd like to ask you for a favor before we tie the knot.
Ask away.
Do you see the apple trees there?
Yes.
All I wish is to eat an apple from one of those trees. Would you be so kind enough to pluck one for me?
Is that all? Yes. I will get the apple for you. Come.
As the princess and the prince walked up to the guards, Nexus stopped them.
My princess, this place is off limits by order of the king.
How dare you?
At this, Nexus removed his helmet and looked straight into the eyes of Prince Mighty. Princess Alma was taken back by how handsome he looked. My goodness! Now this right here is Mr. Mighty.
I am following the order of the king, sire.
You servant, I will have your...
Just then, Princess Alma interrupted. Prince Mighty, could it be? I guess my desire to have an apple will go unfulfilled. This moved Nexus, who didn't understand that the mischievous princess was only pretending.
Oh, my princess, please do not say that. I do not want to make the king angry.
But he will never know. Let Prince Mighty quickly pluck an apple, and we will be on our way. Nexus thought for a while, and then nodded.
All right, just one apple.
Aww, isn't he adorable? As Nexus moved, Prince Mighty walked up to a tree and plucked an apple that hung very low. As soon as the princess was given the apple, she took a bite and relished it. This is the tastiest thing ever! Suddenly, a dragon appeared from under the surface. It grabbed Princess Alma and went inside. Prince Mighty shivered and Nexus was left shocked. Everything had happened so fast that no one from the guards, including Nexus himself, had the time to react. Just then, the king came running towards the garden, and as he had heard the roar of the dragon.
Alma, are you all right? Where's Alma? Where is my daughter?
Prince Mighty explained everything to the king, who was now furious at Nexus.
Nexus! How dare you let her eat that apple?
My king, I am sorry, but the princess was very upset and wanted to have just one bite of an apple. I felt bad.
You fool! You think it was not hard for me to say no to her all these years? This garden is cursed!
What are you saying, king?
The great old sage cursed me years ago when I went hunting in his forest. I stepped on his plate of apples by mistake, and he cursed me that I will have to eat apples for the rest of my life, else the people of my kingdom will suffer, and the dragon would not leave anyone alive. And if anyone else eats an apple from the garden, then the dragon would come and take them away.
Nexus regretted his decision of letting the princess eat the apple.
Is there a way to bring her back or reverse the spell of the sage?
The spell cannot be broken or reversed until the sage does it himself. And I cannot ever set foot in his forest, else the entire kingdom will turn into ashes.
My king, please give me one chance. I will go to the forest and bring her back.
Very well, but take Prince Mighty with you. He is a very brave man.
Actually, I was thinking...
Of course, I cannot imagine going there all by myself.
And thus they set out on their horses, without any soldiers, as they did not want to make the sage angrier. They rode for days and finally came upon the place in the jungle where the sage lived. They dismounted from their horses and walked slowly and steadily as to not make any sound. The sage was sitting outside a cave and was in a deep meditation. Nexus and Prince Mighty tiptoed past the sage and went inside the cave. Inside, it was pitch dark and only their eyes could be seen. The two men kept walking and finally reached a place where they could finally see light. As they approached towards the light, they saw Princess Alma wrapped up around the dragon, sleeping.
Oh, Oh, look! There she is!
But it was too late, for the dragon opened its fierce eyes and looked up. Seeing the two men, she roared loudly.
Run, else it will hurt the princess!
The two ran as fast as they could. As they made their way out of the cave, the two escaped through the nearby bush. And when they were far away from the cave, they sat under a tree to catch their breath. Huffing and puffing, Prince Mighty removed a piece of loaf.
Whew! Don't mind me, but I'm very hungry, and you should eat too. We haven't eaten in days.
Nexus nodded, and Prince Mighty gave the piece of loaf to Nexus. Just when he was about to take one out for himself, an elf appeared in front of them out of nowhere.
Ah!
Who are you?
Relax, I'm just an elf. My name is Alfonso, and I am very hungry. Sir, may I have a piece of loaf?
Nexus gave him the loaf, but Alfonso let it fall.
Oopsie! Kind sir, please pick it up and give it to me again.
Why can't you pick it up yourself? If you cannot take as much trouble as that for your daily bread, then you do not deserve to have it.
And just as he said it, the elf turned into a handsome-looking man. Nexus and Prince Mighty were shocked.
Oh, thank you so much, soldier. My name is Fanzo, and I am the sage's nephew. Years ago, my uncle, who is a very short-tempered man, cast a spell on me and my wife, thereby turning me into an elf and my wife into a dragon. Later, when he calmed down, he tried to reverse the spell by making us eat the world's sweetest apple. But just then, a king who was out here to hunt stepped on the plate and spoilt them.
That would be our poor king. But tell me, how did the spell break now?
Well, he looked into his magic bubble and announced that a day would come when a brave soldier would refuse to pity an elf. That's when the spell would break, and I would turn back to my normal human form. But
what?
But to break the spell off my wife, you will have to sacrifice yourself in front of her dragon form. And I am sorry, but that is the only way to free the princess.
I am ready. Anything for my king.
Nexus went inside the cave. The dragon woke up, hearing his footsteps. It roared loudly. Nexus stepped in front of him. Just then, Princess Alma opened her eyes slowly. Nexus, having not seen the princess waking up, said to the dragon,
I have come here to sacrifice myself in front of you, so that you can turn back into your human form and Princess Alma can return back to her kingdom.
Saying that, he bowed down, and suddenly there was a sparkling flash of light. Nexus looked up and saw that the dragon was gone. And in front of him stood a beautiful lady along with Princess Alma.
Princess Alma, thank goodness you are all right.
Princess Alma ran at once towards Nexus and hugged him. Oh, Nexus, I love you! Just then, Prince Mighty, Fanzo, and the sage came running inside and saw that the dragon was gone. Fanzo's wife, Valina, ran towards him and hugged him tight. Prince Mighty, meanwhile, realized that Princess Alma loved Nexus and not him. He smiled, for he was okay with it.
Well, I haven't done anything to win her heart. He deserves her more than I do.
The sage blessed them all. Prince Mighty bid farewell to Princess Alma and Nexus.
In you both, I have found my best friends. Until we meet again.
Saying that, he left. Nexus and Princess Alma returned back to the kingdom. And the king was ecstatic. He announced a grand wedding, and soon Princess Alma and Nexus were married. The apple garden was no more spellbounded and was made open to all of the citizens of the kingdom. And as for King Marcus, well, he took a piece of mango and ate it to his heart's content.